Well, folks, the day has finally arrived. Episode 200 is here, and to mark the occasion, Holme shirts are going on sale for the final time ever. These beautiful Holme shirts, not just this one, the green one, the red one as well, with your personalised name and number on the back, a la this one, LOLLUJO number 10. This is the third choice kit with the beautiful detailing around the collar, proper football shirt material. These are awesome, the finest piece of Football Manager merch you will ever lay your fingers upon, but they are available for the last time ever. Tribefire don't make shirts anymore. They're doing this as a favour because we sold so many last time, so they're still arranging the printing and the making and everything of them, but we're not doing it on their website anymore because that part of their website doesn't exist. So in order to order yourself a Holme shirt, you go to gumroad.com/LOLLUJO. So that's gumroad.com/LOLLUJO, and you must have placed your order before Sunday the 15th of September. Sunday the 15th of September, all orders that are in will be collected. Tribefire will then put a batch order through to the factory that makes them, and that will be it. They will never, ever, ever be available again. I know we've had a couple of deadlines in the past where I've said, oh, they might yet come back. Seriously, this is it. Never again. If you don't order by Saturday the 14th of September, you will never get one. They will no longer exist. So it's gumroad.com/LOLLUJO. Now let's do a transfer special. Hello folks and welcome to part 200 of It's Coming Home. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we are going to do our traditional season review and transfer special. It is going to be very low key on the transfers. I think pretty much all of the transfer business is already done. We'll get to that shortly, but first we will do the season review on, no matter what anybody tries to tell you in the comments from the last episode, this has been another incredibly successful season. We've won the Premier League for the third time in a row, the fourth times in 6 years. We made it to our first ever Champions League final. This has been a really good season, and we've done it without destroying the club finances. We're actually slowly coming into recovery, as shown by the projections there, which should improve over the course of the summer as well, because I'm anticipating having a net transfer profit this summer. Maybe. Certainly I'm not signing any first team players. Probably. I'm not going to sign any first team players. We're signing players for the future. That's the plan. And we are pretty much spent up already. As you can see, we've only got 5 million left of our initial £20 million budget. Our new wage budget of £4.8 million a week. We're already up to 4.6 million of that. So we could maybe bring in a free transfer if there was a really good one. But in reality, I don't want to. I think the squad that we've got will win a Champions League. I said it in the Champions League final episode that they're a very young squad. They will get another opportunity. We will come back bigger and better and stronger, and we will win the Champions League with this group of players, with maybe one or two youngsters breaking through as extra additions. But I'm not going to go out, and I think the days of me spending 80, 90, 100 million pounds on a player are done. Watch me go and do it in this same episode now. At the moment, that is my intention. My intentions are good. Let's do the season review. So, this is the Holme overall best 11. So, we've had Maya has been inducted along with Mira and Cristiano. So now the all-time Holme best 11 is Saidi in goal, a back four of Candamil, Sands, Lee and Maya, Harrison behind Cristiano and Kano in midfield, Manu behind Sir Anthony Harris, Chardonnay Matondo, and a bench of Humphreys, Proctor, Lerick Fernandez, Connor Stanley, Mick Powell, Oliver Gregson and Mira sharing a bench with Sir Mick Powell. That seems about right. So we'll just catch in with a few of these that are, in fact, no, that's usually wrong, isn't it? We'll just check in with the ones that are still playing but aren't still with us. So Cesar Sands, of course, went to Paris Saint-Germain, where he's been for the last 3 years. And as expected, he's been a squad player, a fringe player for them, just like he was for us in his last season. So I don't know if he's gone there and won anything. He could have won 3 Premier Leagues with us. As it is, he's won 2 Ligue 1s with them. So I guess, I mean, it doesn't really, I imagine he's earned more money doing it. Philip Harrison, I think, is probably about done now. He's, I don't know, age 30, still playing for Spal, still doing his European tour. Kano, who inexplicably is in this team as a midfielder, despite only ever being a striker for us. Also now age 30, now at Newcastle, after a pretty successful couple of seasons at Fulham in the Championship, scoring lots of goals for them. When they sold him, they replaced it. In fact, did they have Kano and Akamo up front for a season? Is that where Akamo went? Or did he go to Brighton? I forget where he went. I know they both dropped down to the Championship, which was mad at the time. But Kano back in the Premier League, not top scorer this time like he was there, but at least he's in the Premier League and scoring goals again. Sir Anthony Harris we know all about. He's an under-18s coach for us and England. And then Chardonnay Matondo is now playing for Notts County, age 32, playing for Notts County in League One, where he's got into double figures for the first time in his career, not playing for Holme. He'd only ever done that for us before. So maybe he was a League One player after all, like he was way back then when he first signed for us. But yeah, not quite the career I expected Matondo to have when I spent £5.5 million on him. But never mind, eh? We'll check this all-time best 11, because this one, weirdly, has a Kamo in it, who did go to Brighton. There you go. So he's actually outscoring Kano now. Who'd have known he was the better of the two? Manu, we forgot to check in on. He's a regular for Real Madrid. He's had a lovely little career. Still not made it into the Spain national team, but playing regularly for Real Madrid. I'm sure he's quite happy with that. Riviere still playing for Sassuolo. Humphreys is now a goalkeeping coach at Luton. I mean, he was here a long time. I'm always tempted to bring him back. Is he any good as a goalkeeping coach? Not really. Perhaps won't rush to bring him back. And then this lot all now retired. End of season awards. George Mayer getting player of the season. Now that is a bit of a surprise, because I don't know if I would have said he was our best player last season, but obviously the stats don't lie. And to be fair, it's the best season he's had since that first year where he exploded onto the scene. And 5 years now playing for us, he's been Mr. Consistency, always averaging above a 7. So can't really complain about anything George Mayer's ever done. So yeah, I'll let him have it. Lee runner-up just behind him, and Mira just behind the two of them. Zupancic with goal of the season against Schalke. Let's have a little look at the goal of the season from Zupancic. How different might the Champions League final have been if Zupancic had been fit to play? I guess we'll never know. We'll have to find out when he plays in the next one, because he is the best midfielder at the club now, and we did miss him. And this looks like this is going to be a screamer. That'll do. I mean, Costa will probably have a thing to say after some of the goals he scored this season, but Zupancic can't really complain about that at all. Ben Young gets signing of the season, the super sub. He did have a decent season in the end, and Juranovic getting young player of the year at age 23. So our team of the year has Powell in goal. There's some new faces in this team of the year. The youth is forcing its way in. So Alif at left back in team of the year, ahead of Candemil for the first time. Juranovic in at centre back with Lee and Mayer. Zupancic and Sloma in midfield. So Sloma pipping Cristiano to get in our team of the season, despite only starting 14 Premier League games. Did of course play in the Champions League final, where he looked a little bit out of his depth, but clearly team of the year thinks he's better than Cristiano now. And then Cirelio, Costa and Flager behind Thor. So no room for Mira, no room for Goff. There's some big names missing from that team of the season. I think that needs to be a bit of an indication for what our transfer policy is going to be for the summer. If we've got older players with better, younger options coming through, I'm not meaning so much with Thor and Flager, because I like the competition for places in attack. But Cristiano turns 30 this summer, I think. And Sloma's already thought, I mean, maybe we move Cristiano on. Maybe we move Candemil on. Who knows? Beckett not forcing his way into the team of the year either. Top scorer was Thor with 24 goals. Highest average rating, Mark Alif, 7.32. We've got to just go with him as our starting left back this year, haven't we? He's been here for 4 years now. Three of those years as understudy to Candemil. But sooner or later, we've just got to go all in on Alif and say he is our starting left back. He's age 22. He's now a full German international. What does that mean for Candemil? We will find out over the course of this episode, I guess. Most assists is Costa with 15. After me saying in a recent episode he doesn't really create anything. He's had his most creative season of his career. Of course he has. Cristiano, best pass completion, 91% pass completion over the course of a season in central midfield, and couldn't get into the team of the year. That shows how good Sloma is. And then Thor, most man of the matches. Lee, most yellow cards. And we didn't get a single red card all season. There's no naughty boys club this year. The season review, it's a good, positive season. We were expected to win the Premier League, and we did. We didn't disappoint in anything else. I mean, this is the team of 2031, so this is 9 years ago now. So this is a team that, I mean, there are some. This is our team for our first Premier League year. Oh, this is awesome. So this was the newly promoted Premier League team. So Peter Turner, I remember bringing him in thinking he was going to be an absolute star for us, and he never really did it. And there you go, he's a Championship player. That's why. Sir Anthony Harris, we know all about. Manu coming in that summer, we've already looked at, but what a signing he was. Riviere as well, great early signing. Marvin Samuel, remember him? For a brief period of time, he was the best player at the club. 33 years old now, after West Ham stole him from us, and he's now playing for Fenerbahce. Jonathan Torres, I remember him as a bit of a super sub again, now playing for Huddersfield. Never really forced his way into the team as a regular starter, but was always useful to have knocking around the place. Marcus Botello, I don't think I remember, because he was only here on loan, but he did play 31 games. I don't remember him. No idea who he was. Goran Papuchiev. Was he the old striker? No, he's a central midfielder who must have been quite young at the time. Don't remember him either. He was here on loan as well. I think I can be forgiven for forgetting him. Grant Brown, I feel like he was a left back. He is a left back. He was the one who used to compete with Mark Wearmouth for a starting spot. Peter Turner's at Watford. Chris Sweeney, I don't think I remember. Another left back. Was here on loan. Don't remember him. It shows how long we've been in the Premier League for now. And then I guess these ones are all retired now. Squad dynamics, our team leaders are Lee, Candermill and Goff. And this is why Candermill is a bit of an issue. Not necessarily as much with Goff, because with Goff and Flago, I do rotate them a lot, and I think that works. I think with defenders, it's a little bit harder to do. And for Candermill, as captain, in his absolute prime, 27 years old, been a regular starter ever since he's been here and a team leader, I do worry that I could upset the dynamics a little bit by not selling him. I need to have a ponder on that one. End of season team meeting. Obviously, the plan is to go and win the title again. That's the plan every year now. We just want to keep winning the league, and then eventually win the Champions League. Pre-season start date, that works for me. We don't want any of this analysis nonsense. Champions League best goal went to Zupancic for that same one against Schalke that got our goal of the season award. So that seems fine. Home players in the dream team. So Meyer, Lee and Flager all making it into the Champions League dream team, along with a lot of Bayern Munich players. I mean, that kind of illustrates what I was saying in the last episode about how Bayern Munich were just a lot better than us. And you can see, as individuals, they've got a better team than us at the moment. That's a situation we need to try and change. How old are their players? 28. This is my plan now. Wait them out and hope they don't replace this lot. Oh, they've all got 5 years at least left in them yet. He's done. 33. Aleph will be there next year as the best left back in the competition. And then Champions League award winners. We've got Lee and Beron as second and third in the defenders. Flager second in midfielder. And we didn't get anyone in the forward, which I think that's a bit of an issue because we've got some very good forwards at the club. I'm a little bit surprised in that. But we now move on to transfers. And like I say, most of this is already arranged. So I'll show you them as they arrive. But they're all youngsters. Although one of them is very good. But work permits mean we're probably not going to see him play next year. But he's very good. It's another mirror situation, hopefully. I don't normally show this screen, but firstly, I like the fact we've got a £40 million new sponsorship deal. That's going to be a big help. But also, I thought it was interesting that Flager sold more shirts than anyone else this year, despite Lee having the South Korean advantage that usually puts them towards the top of this kind of thing, plus 2 very good strikers. It's actually our 2 right wingers who are battling it out for shirt sales. We've also just had a cash injection. This is what I mean. This is why we're never going to go out of business, because the board keep throwing money at us as well. For a second, I thought that was going to be the new ground. Yes, improve the youth level. The board are continuing to throw money at us, and this is what the finances now look like with that new sponsorship deal and the cash injection from the board. We're actually at a point where we're projected to start turning a profit within 2 years. That's without selling anybody yet, and with the new players coming in. The board have fixed me. Bankruptcy my eye. All you lot telling me bankruptcy was going to ruin us. How do I look at sponsors? Sponsors. So we now get £33 million a year in sponsorship. Is that what that means? Or are these all individual ones? Is this per year? Oh no, so this is value per season. So do we not get a total on here? So, I mean, how do we add this up? Can we not just highlight everything? No. So that's like 5.5, 8-ish, 11, 14, 17, 24, 32, 30, 48, 50, like £81 million a year in sponsorships now, which it's almost the transfer debt, plus the board throwing money at us. We made £170 million profit this month. Kev doesn't bankrupt anyone ever. Huzzah! Right, transfer time. What a segue. Here's a bit of an end of an era. I'm losing my assistant manager of the last 14 years. Charlie Oatway is retiring, aged 66. He's had quite the career. In real life, starts to save as unemployed, I guess, having had a few of these jobs. But he's been my assistant manager for the last 14 seasons, and he's retired. So Sir Anthony Harris can be my new assistant manager, or Shane Phillips, or maybe someone who's any good at the job. We'll see what happens. Well, there you go. Bet you weren't expecting him to be my new assistant manager, were you? £2.8 million. It's cost us to bring Troy Deeney in to be new assistant manager. He's pretty good. He's a pretty good assistant manager. He's done a decent apprenticeship around some clubs to help him get ready for his big move to Holme as well. He's been an under-18s assistant manager at Manchester United. He's been at Bournemouth, Hibs, Swansea. He's been Liverpool's assistant manager for the last 2 years. Served as their caretaker manager for a couple of weeks as well. So yeah, Troy Deeney is going to be the assistant manager that picks the bench when Home win the Champions League. Hooray for Troy Deeney! New signings time, boys and girls. We'll go through them in the order they appear on here, although obviously that one does look particularly interesting. But starting off with Ignacio Calvillo, I think this is one that has been arranged for a little while, because I have moved to my trying to sign English youngsters policy now. But to be fair, he's pretty good. I don't mind bringing him in. He's 18, so he's another one who'll become homegrown, and has been scoring goals for Real Sociedad B for the last couple of years. So, and bearing in mind he's been doing that as a 16 and 17-year-old, so he's definitely got goals in him. So I can handle him arriving. Welcome to Ignacio Calvillo. We've got Jamie Allen, who's an 18-year-old English attacking midfielder. He is the highest potential under 18 English player my scouts were able to identify. He started out at Ross County, went to Hibs for, £250,000 when he was presumably 16, 17. Spent the season on loan at Notts County in League One. Now joins us here at home. He's not quite as good as... we've got a lot of good players in this position. He's one that I might be tempted to loan out, even though he won't become homegrown at club. Oh, because he started in Scotland, he's not even going to be homegrown in nation. I thought, he's English, it'll be fine. But no, he does actually have to stay here for the full 3 years so that we can make him homegrown. But then the one, of course, that we're all interested in, Carlos Augusto, is an 18-year-old Brazilian wonder kid. He hasn't got a work permit yet because of the fact that he's not actually made his debut for Brazil yet. But my thinking is he's the next Mira to come through for us. 18-year-old Brazilian under-18 international, already as good as Ben Young, already nearly as good as Thor and Mira, with potential to get even better. if we follow the same plan that we did with Mira, however many years ago it was, it must be 5 or 6 years ago now, and loan him out to Spanish clubs, he only needs 2 years in Spain to be able to get a Spanish passport, and then we can start using him. So my plan for Carlos Augusto is get him out on loan to Spain ASAP, get him that Spanish passport, and then he'll either be able to play for us on the basis of a Spanish passport, or he'll do so well there that he'll make his debut for Brazil and we'll be able to get a work permit for him. But he's not going to be one who becomes homegrown at club, but they don't all need to. And if he's as good as he is, then I can handle having one who isn't going to be homegrown at club. But we do have to make sure that we can find someone to take him on loan, which is going to be the tricky part, because he's coming in expecting to... Hold on, transfer status, expecting to be a first team player. We have got we'll just apply for a work permit. Oh, we can't apply for it yet. I did think that was weird. So we now do need to just offer him out on loan. We need, and ideally out on loan with somebody paying his wages as well. I think it's probably going to be a bit much to ask that a Spanish club particularly comes in and agrees to pay an 18-year-old £100,000 a week. But you never know. They might come in with an offer of some kind. Otherwise, that one will be a bit of a boo-boo. Carlos Augusto has arrived at the club without a work permit. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't get one. Exactly. Well, it's been a long time since this has happened, so I just kind of went with it. David Moss, my director of football, went out and found a player and made an offer on a player. And it's been probably 4 or 5 seasons since he's done this for anyone. So I just thought, yeah, let him go for it. Adelino Andre Ribeiro, 19-year-old Portuguese central midfielder, 2-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability. And if he ends up being the best midfielder at the club, you can thank my director of football. We've had a small reputation boost as well. Excellent stuff. I think unless we sell some players, that is transfers done now. I don't know how this has happened, by the way. I haven't spent £80 million, but £80 million has shot out of the coffers. I'm trusting money less and less, but we're pretty much spent up at this point. So I'm not actively going to push anybody out, but if we get crazy offers for some of the players who we would consider selling, so I'm thinking in terms of ridiculous offers for Costa, Candemil, Beron, Cristiano, they're probably the ones. If we were getting like 3-figure offers, or 3-figure with £1 million after it, those kind of offers, or maybe even 50-60 million pound plus for some of them, then we'd probably look to sell. But other than that, I think summer is just about done on the 23rd of June. This is the bit where everyone looks and sees there's 45 minutes left on the video, so obviously something happened. I don't expect that's the case today, but it always could be. I think it's safe to assume that David Moss went on holiday to Portugal because he's signed another one. He hasn't done this for years. He obviously feels sorry for me for doing so little business this summer. It's the 2nd of August. I am still sticking to my word of not going out and spending any money after that initial little burst. But he has gone back to the same club, Guimarães in Portugal, for Adelino Balde, who's a Portuguese under-21 international with 5-star potential. It looks like he's going to be lovely, but it just seems a little bit mad that he's gone and stolen 2 players, and I feel like they should become a feeder club for us now. The only other news we've got is another one of these youngsters that we've been waiting for years has turned up, and he's rubbish. And we've sold one of the players. I think this is the guy we brought in when we sold Alves, and we just wanted to have, or it might be when Jimenez or Ricardo or someone like that left, when we didn't have enough defensive midfielders and we brought this guy in as a backup in the first team squad, then immediately changed the system. So he never actually got the opportunity to play because he can only do holding midfield. He can't play in central midfield. So he's gone to Sampdoria, having never played for us. That was a good piece of business. But yeah, we're still not operating at a net profit for the summer, but I am sticking true to my word and not spending the money. This guy is the bookies' favourite to be Premier League best player this season at aged 18 and with no work permit and no way to apply for a work permit until after the transfer window closes. I'm not quite sure the bookies understand how these things work. Even if he gets a work permit in September, he can't play until January. Is he really going to be that impressive in January, age 19 at that point, to be considered the best player in the league on only half a season. I'll be impressed if he manages it, but no one wants to take him on loan, presumably because they're afraid of that, which I guess I can sort of understand. I'm not asking them to pay it anymore. I'm offering him out with zero wage expectation, but I think that just scares clubs. So we're not getting any offers. So we might just have to... How long's his contract? He's got 4 years on his contract. 3 years' time. In 3 years' time, he becomes homegrown at home, I think. But he won't actually be classed as... He still won't necessarily get a work permit, because I think you have to be here 5 years. That's going to be a weird situation. A homegrown at-club player who can't play for us because he hasn't got a work permit. That feels like that's the sort of thing that's going to break the game. This is the end times now for Holme. Carlos Augusto is going to break the save. I can see it coming now. But we'll worry about that as and when it happens. But as is a tradition for the transfer special, now we are going to play the Community Shield before we wrap things up on this video. Genuinely don't think there's going to be any more signings, any more movement in or out. I'm happy with the squad as it is. It looks lovely. If we have a little look at the squad depth, obviously we've got a lot of strength up front now, although Augusto can't play for us yet. Out wide, very strong. Attacking midfield, very strong. Central midfield. It would have been nice to be able to bring in a 5-star central midfielder, but we haven't got the money, so I'm trying to be sensible. We're obviously, look at the difference between Aleth and Kandemil at left back now. Joksimovic has done a bit of a Mick Powell at right back, so he's ready to properly challenge Meyer this year. Lee, Juranovic, Beron, Hervé, all very, very good at centre back. Powell and Beckart. And Radovic is in the midst of doing a bit of a Mick Powell. He might end up being the answer long term because he's got 5-star potential, although... Beckart has just won the goalkeeper of the tournament at the Euros. So we've got the reigning World Cup goalkeeper of the tournament and Euros goalkeeper of the tournament. And I'm inexplicably not happy with either of them. Because I'm Kev. Let's go play the Charity Shield. Here we go then, boys and girls. Charity Shield time. And this is the team that we are putting out there. And a couple... I'm dropping my phone over here. Ridiculous. Couple of little tweaks from the way we were playing last season. I don't know if they're permanent tweaks, but I'm finally making the switch to complete forward up front. Whether it's Thor or Mira playing up front, we're going to go with complete forward and see how it works out. And also, Diarra's time has come. He comes in on the left-hand side of midfield. Cirilio's still here, but I think we need to give Diarra much more game time this season. Diarra's kind of where Aleth was a year ago. Aleth is going to start as well. He is now our first choice left back. We have got a few injury problems going into this Charity Shield game. It's not going to be the perfect start to the season when it comes to availability of players. Goff and Cirilio both injured. Mira, Mendes, Drame, all on international duty. Augusto obviously doesn't have his work permit yet. Radovic is injured as well. So it's not perfect, but it is only the Charity Shield. But obviously it would be nice to win. So we've got Powell in goal, a back four of Alef, Beron, Lee and Meyer, Zipancic and Cristiano in midfield, Diarra, Costa and Flager behind Thor up front. Let's get into the match. Let's get a feel for where we are. I think this might be the first summer of the entire save, which, I mean, it must be, what, 23 seasons at this point? Does that seem right? But I think it might be the first summer where we've not had significant change to the first team squad, or at least one or two new first team players coming. Look at this from Flager right from the kickoff. He's trying to stake a claim immediately for being the starting striker for the coming season. He's had enough of this battling with John Goff nonsense. He wants to be the main man again down the right hand side. And to be fair, there's every chance that he might achieve that over the course of the season. He's getting a head start on Goff by Goff being injured for the start of the season. So if Flager starts on fire, there's no reason to bring Goff in any particular rush. I mean, Goff is 29 now. I know we've only just recently spent over £100 million on him as a marquee signing, but if Flager's better than him, let's not worry about marquee signing nonsense. Goff will be a very handy man to have down on the bench, or as a handyman. Right, we've been the better team here. I mean, there's really not very much in it. I don't know how close to full strength United are. Obviously, they are our closest challengers domestically, but we did absolutely run away with the Premier League last year. I think we won the league by about 15 points in the end. So although they are our closest challengers, theoretically, they're not that close to challenging us, hopefully. And I would like to think we should be looking at another Premier League title win this season, unless the game decides to kick me in the trousers for not strengthening, and considering that, you know, if you don't strengthen, letting everyone else catch up, all that kind of thing. But you got to remember, we are kind of strengthening with our ongoing transfer policy. The likes of Aleph and Diarra coming into this team, Sloma's a year older. All of these players coming through and developing, that is strengthening the team, even if we're not bringing in new personnel. Right, let's make some changes. So Aleph can come off for Candemil, Diarra can come off for Young, and we can switch that up to him being an inside forward out there. Flager can come off for Gayen. Gayen is another one who needs to get game time this year. We can do lots of substitutions in this competition, can't we? Let's get Cristiano off as well for Bagarski. You know what? Let's do both of them in midfield. Sloma can come on for him, and why not do all substitutions at the same time? Juranovic on for Lee. 6 substitutions all at the same time. And let's have some passion to go with our completely shaken up team. Yes, we're taking this competition seriously. Nick Wilson, the one that got away, has now been sent off. He's actually got away again. Goodness me, Nick Wilson still doing everything he can to make me as successful as possible. And there's Thor with the opening goal of the game. In fact, it's a Luke Ashworth own goal, another one of my former England players doing me a favour. They all wish I was there with them at Man United. They miss me with England. England got knocked out of the Euros in the second round, by the way. Got absolutely smashed by a Belgium team containing both Thor and Beckhardt. And yeah, England just weren't very good at all. I think I definitely jumped from England at the right time. Young now plays it into Sloma. Sloma back to Bagarski. Bagarski all the way back to Juranovic. I am looking for a big season from Bagarski this season. I want him to step up and do this year what Sloma did last year. Candemil from range. Who's your starting left back, boss? Who's your captain, boss? Once Alice starts doing this, then we can have that conversation. For now, I'm still Sebastian Candemil, and I can do this. Look at the state of this for a finish. This is our backup left back, boys and girls. Lovely goal. 2-0 to Holme. And we are finally starting to assert ourselves on this game. Now United are down to 10 men. Obviously, when we smell blood, we can go in for the kill. Young with a shot from range, and Candemil heads it forward to Juranovic. It's back to Mayer again. We're just knocking the ball around nicely now. Juranovic across to Candemil, who's got plenty of options ahead of him. Plays it into Young. Young across to Costa. Look at the amount of space we've got. It looks like United have lost 2 or 3 players. Mayer across to Candemil again, who's in space again and scores again. Candemil has taken this challenge on. Oh, Aleph's your starting left back, is he? Is he really? Sebastian Candemil, currently Holme's top scorer for the 2040-41 season. I think that's where we are now. Get your home shirts with Candemil on the back from gumroad.com/LOLLUJO. Well, it's not while stock lasts. We'll print as many as we sell, but it'll be until the 14th of September. I explained it all at the start. If you haven't ordered one by now, you're probably not getting one, surely. Or you're waiting until the 14th of September. That would be fine too, but I'd prefer you order them now. I want excitement. I want orders. If you wait, you might forget. I might forget to tell you again. Strike while the iron's hot. Order a home shirt. Then you can look as cool as me. But I didn't say at the start, but little note for all of you. Order a size bigger than you'd normally wear. They do come up a little bit snug. I ordered one and ended up... Oh, in fact, I ordered all 3 when they initially went on sale. They looked like they were painted on, so I went 2 sizes up because they were so tight. I think that's just for the fuller figured man needs to go 2 sizes up. If you don't mind a fitted football shirt, 1 size up should be fine for you. But I think it's a big risk ordering one in your actual size. So remember that when ordering. But yeah, they're cool. You should order one. I've got 8 now. 3 to wear. 3 to wear if I ever lose weight. And 2 to be framed up on the wall. I should probably get the 3rd one for the frame. There you go. There's at least 1 sale. Did we concede a goal? I don't think we did we? Powell, I think, was fouled, was it? The Powell foul. Gayen now crossing towards nobody in particular. I think it was aimed at Thor, but didn't make it to him. And there's Costa out to Young. Are we going to grab number 4? It would be lovely if we did. It's Candemil looking for his hat-trick. But in fact wins a corner. We've got 30 seconds left. Candermill should be up for this corner. I don't think he is, because he's a proper captain, leading by example, not in it for personal glory. He's the last man back when he's on a hat-trick for a corner 30 seconds from the end. What a man. Candermill's my starting left back for this season, boys and girls. Forget Alice. And look, there you go. It's an episode too late, but you're seeing us celebrate winning a trophy. Squint a little bit and you can pretend we've just won the Champions League in episode 200, like I promised you all along. Right, let's congratulate the lads and just finish off this transfer window. Like I say, I'll be very surprised if there's any more business now, but we better just check. And then tomorrow we play Man United again in the league. Well, folks, that is it for what I think is officially the quietest transfer window in the history of the football club. 6 players coming in. Have we ever had... I mean, last summer wasn't much busier, but obviously there was some big money spent last summer. We haven't done that this summer. But going back through history, has there ever been a season where we've only brought in 6 players? I suggest there probably hasn't ever been one where we were anywhere near that. Look at the amount, look at the turnover of players right from the beginning. First ever signing was Rich de Groot. There you go, for those historians amongst you. I wonder what Rich de Groot is getting up to now. Shame there's just no way of checking. But there you go, 22 million spent, 7.5 brought in. But we're fine, because remember, it says there, OK finances. You don't know what bankrupt means. That's Kev's message, and I'm sticking to it. We've stuck within our budgets. We're doing fine. This is the board's fault. We play Manchester United again tomorrow. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.